Hello, welcome to Y Space.
Hey y'all.
We apologize that it sounds as if we're at the ocean. We're not quite sure why. You might hear some waves, maybe you won't. We don't know.
It's stopped on my end now.
Oh, well, and I also apologize for this one hair, but okay. Um,
We are really pulled together today,
yeah,
folks.
very
Thank you so
professional as
much.
usual. Very professional.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so welcome to episode 69. We are inching ever so close to 100.
I, it's wild.
So crazy.
Look, we are so consistent and on it. I'm proud of us.
Me too. Really like to pat myself on the back.
You should. Happy
But
late Mother's Day to
yes,
everyone. I don't think we said that
yes,
last week, so our
we
bad.
did. Yeah, my bad. Hope it was good for you. Yeah. How was your Mother's Day?
It was good. It's just a day to do whatever I want. And I told Doug, I was like, please do not ask me for an agenda. I just want to go to lunch. I maybe want to do a little shopping, and then I want to come home and just watch documentaries. And I don't want to be
Doc-
bothered. So he was like,
Documentary
do
era.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. I had this like weird I really wanted to redo everyone's closets.
Okay.
Because it's starting to get warmer.
Yes.
And we took the boys and bought some more wardrobes on Saturday. Take out all the things, put all the
Yep.
new things in. So it just took my whole day. That's all I'm telling you.
But it's nice to have like that time kind of set aside where you can get it done.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
looking in their closets right now, because I also still had all their clothes on what I call baby hangers.
Yes.
So everything was falling off and it was just disheveled, and now we're on roll hangers.
Which is
Just like
a weird step to get to.
it is. It's weird that was like a thing. But
Yeah.
now when I walk by and it's like perfectly lined, I'm like, oh, yes.
It is nice.
Yeah. So that's the weirdness of me.
There you go. Did you
Yeah.
ask for anything for Mother's Day, like gift wise or anything?
I mean, I've asked for a Blackstone, I believe, for the past 4 Mother's Days.
Oh, okay.
We kept consistency here, though, and I didn't get that. No, I was in Arkansas last week for a few days, and I wanted to get my hair done, and that's a good, cool $300 there.
Yeah.
So, as for that, although, I mean, I was going to get it done regardless. But yeah, no, I didn't really ask for anything.
Funny.
You?
Listen, I can't remember if I told you, but I have entered my old lady phase and I wanted a hummingbird feeder.
Oh, my. Nope. Nope. Now, is this your old lady phase or your Spencer Pratt phase? Because, he has them come
Oh,
land
that's
on his finger.
right. He does.
Yeah.
So I have in my office it's the front window to the house, and so it's all the landscaping is right there. So I have occasionally seen some hummingbirds kind of float by the azalea bushes. And so I was like, I should really get them something to eat.
Okay, so we got a hummingbird feeder.
So I found a hummingbird feeder that I wanted, and that's what I asked for Mother's Day.
Did you already make your concoction and put it up?
Well, now I just went to Walmart and bought a pre-made where you just pour it in.
Oh,
But I'm
come
gonna
on.
research because I just needed
Yeah.
something to stick out there for now.
Okay.
But I'm just really enjoying this 80-year-old life phase that I have gotten into.
Right,
I'm guessing
right.
maybe it's is this our midlife crisis? Men want sports cars and to be young again, but I'm fully embracing the don't put me
Yeah,
behind
men
the
want
wheel.
men want hotter wives and you want hummingbirds. I'm not really saying, that
Listen,
that's
you're not
weird,
getting
but
hotter than what you got now, so
I mean, we are here.
thankful.
Yeah, we'll have to be on hummingbird watch.
We will. We will.
We'll need an update weekly. Please add that to the agenda.
Okay.
Don't be shocked when you see it in there.
Oh
But
gosh.
speaking of things changing,
And shocks.
okay, I just want note for the audio in the show notes for this week. I put the topic we're about to discuss, and Becca went in all capital letters, and it is now highlighted
Yes.
in yellow. Shut up with an exclamation. So,
I had to read it twice because I was like, is that what I read right?
okay, well let's slow down. Let me explain myself. So. Something I wanted to bring up. We're going to kick off in entertainment, as we
Yes.
always do. And it's kind of a weird season of entertainment right now
It
because
really is.
there's kind of some award shows. We're not really sure. The AMAs are coming up. We'll get to Taylor, but it definitely sounds like something is happening at the AMAs. I think she's just going, not claiming an announcement, but
Yeah.
whatever. But so we're kind of in a lull. We did go to the movies Friday night. We went and saw, well, I don't even remember what the original name was. Now they call it the New Avengers, Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolt. Okay, we have not seen that one yet.
Don't ask how it was because I had just driven in from Little Rock and I did not even make it through the previews.
Okay.
Not a thing. So the boys seem to like it.
Okay.
But it's just a weird entertainment time. But there is something that continues to stay in the entertainment news. It feels like it may go on for the rest of our lives.
Oh, yes.
And some of you just can't quit in the DMs. And so I wanted to readdress the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni situation.
Yes.
Now, my show note says, latest on Blake Lively, brackets, maybe some changes on Mandy's part. Hence, shut up, exclamation, caps, yellow.
Which is huge because, guys, Mandy will send me like updates. When there's an update on the case, she'll send it to me on Instagram or text it to me. And I always prod a little and say something about Blake, and I never get a response.
Well, I mean, for instance, for an example for you guys, I sent her one over the weekend, I believe, or it may have been Friday, and basically I got this diatribe about what a horrible human being Blake Lively is.
Yes.
Basically, what Becca has decided. This all really stems from, it really began with Becca choosing Kristen Bell over Blake Lively.
Oh, wow, that is where it stemmed from.
Many months ago. So, if you're new to the show, I have always been a huge Blake Lively fan.
Yes.
So really, the origin of that story is that I was obsessed with Gossip Girl. Loved the show. Also, note for the audio, Becca's never seen it.
True. Not a surprise.
So she doesn't know the greatness. Also, from like just a looks perspective, I find Blake Lively to be beautiful.
She is gorgeous. Yes.
When, like, if my husband and I are like, who do you think's hot, whatever, 9 times out of 10, I mean, I'm going to say Blake Lively. I think she's
that's fair.
Dropped it. Well, apparently you don't because you picked Kristen Bell several months ago.
Well,
so
I can still think she's pretty on the outside, not the inside.
So, if you're not familiar with the current issues at hand, the brief Cliff Notes version is that she made a movie called It Ends With Us based on the Colleen Hoover book. And she has levied some very serious allegations against her co-star, Justin Baldoni, with some sexual stuff, like just pretty much, bad stuff. He, of course, has come back and levied things against her about being controlling and taking over the movie and just all these things. So it's all this big litigation, right? Mm-hmm. So I have been firmly in the camp that Justin is in the wrong and Blake is in the right. Now, I will say, I have said that I do think there's fault on both sides.
Right, you have.
And I still hold true to that. I think there is fault on both sides. I think that there are other things about Justin from other instances that have come out that I think there's some traits there.
I can agree.
I think some of what she accused him of in this movie is true, just based on some of the evidence. Now, anytime you're going to sue somebody, you're going to make the evidence look the way you need it to look.
Right.
Both sides. And both sides are really leaning hard on that.
Yeah.
Both sides have been accused of smear campaigns. Both are very obviously doing that.
Right.
Yes. So, where I'm beginning to take some issue, though, I have been firmly in the camp of supporting Blake, as I would support any woman who claims that they have been, mistreated because of their gender and that kind of thing.
Right.
Though I will say people that cry wolf really drive me crazy. And so, I don't know. So here's the thing. If you know Blake Lively and you followed her career at all, you know that every single project she has worked on has been problematic. Okay? From the very beginning. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. She's very close to the cast, except for Alexis, Bindle?
Yep,
that was on
that's how
Rory
you
from Gilmore Girls.
Yep.
They don't get along. The rest of them she's still really close to. There's always somebody with Blake. Her and Leighton Meester didn't get along on Gossip Girl.
Right.
Allegedly, things happened with her and Ben Affleck when he was married to Jennifer Gardner on The Town. Allegedly, she and Ryan met on Green Lantern when he was still married and, whatever.
Right.
So there's always something with Blake. Always. I think she's probably a mean girl in real life.
Yeah.
Okay? But what has happened is she came out and she's drugged Taylor into the situation. Mm-hmm. And that happens with friends. Okay? But the way that Blake did it is starting to bother me. And the more that, like, comes of this, the more I'm like, Now, you got to keep in mind, Taylor is the godmother to 3 of Blake and Ryan's 4 children. All 3 of their girls. I don't think the boy.
Correct.
At least based on
At least they haven't come out and said that.
Yeah. So there's definitely some long tenure there, but you got to remember that Taylor is also the godmother of Jamie King's son, and she and Jamie King are no longer friends. But from what we've always read, she takes being a godmother very seriously, and she still has connections to those children. So
yeah.
So, of course, nobody's like, Blake and Taylor's camps are not saying anything about the state of their friendship because they just wouldn't, right? They kind of have just moved on with life. But it appears that last week, from what we have seen in the media, that Taylor was subpoenaed in this case, which we knew was probably going to happen based on the fact that Blake was throwing around the weight of Taylor in some text messages. And also Hugh Jackman, which he's still very close with Ryan and Blake and has still been seen publicly with them. So I think he's he's good. But Taylor doesn't like to get in the kerfuffle. She doesn't like it. And so this weekend we got a statement from Tree Payne. Again, it's never signed Tree Payne. We just know.
It's an inside source.
It's very obvious. And the verbiage is very to the point. And it very much gave off the vibe that Taylor is pissed.
Right.
And so I started to quandary then. I was like, listen, if Taylor was going to, like, play it cool or, like, I'm just trying to see how, because I've been telling Becca, she said to me, like, what do you think is going to happen to their friendship? And I have been saying, we got to see how the trial plays out. If we go to trial, how does it all shake out? I still think there's some validity to that.
Right.
But that statement gave me the vibe that the closeness will no longer be there.
I mean, I think you have to have that fine line. You can't bring your personal friends into your work problems. It's one thing to, like, have a conversation over dinner, like when somebody's like, how's work going? You're like, oh my gosh, it's stressful. Yeah. Then you move on. But when you're, like, if you get into a lawsuit and I somehow have to now be deposed because of it, like, we're going to have some problems. Don't put me in that situation. I will be there to support you, but don't you put me at a table with lawyers.
Listen, I'll do my best. No, but I think it's just I think it's like that I don't appreciate that Blake put Taylor in that position.
Yeah.
Again, I think both sides of this case could probably win, so to speak. I really think both should drop it and let's move on, but that's not going to happen. They're both just, like, digging their heels in. It feels like dealing with 2 3-year-olds fighting.
It does.
But I just don't appreciate, like, you've been friends with Taylor for over 10 years. She's the godmother of your children. Your lives are very ingrained. And so you've seen her go through some very famous friendship breakups. Mm-hmm. You've seen her be mistreated by a lot of people.
Yeah.
And taken advantage of. And you still fell privy to that in this sense of, like, entitlement.
Right.
And so for me, I'm like, I feel like you abused the friendship.
Yeah. Well, and I think
like
if it was you and I that had a real famous friend, I'm throwing that name in a conversation. You know what I mean? But if I, on my own, am real famous in my genre or whatever I'm doing, I don't need to throw somebody else's name out there to, like, put some more weight to it. And so I think that that's very odd that she... and potentially Taylor's not the only name she has thrown out there. Obviously, we know Ryan got thrown in there as well. So it's just strange why you have to, like, rally these people around you to kind of control what you have signed on to, because it's been stated, like, she comes on as the actress, but then she wants control as the producer. Well, then go make a film where you produce. I don't understand why you have to make it so toxic when everybody thought they were on the same page, because that's the contract we signed.
Well, and I think one of the things I got to thinking about this weekend, which did lead me to put that I think that my opinions could be changing a little bit. I mean, first of all, don't mess with Taylor. Like,
right.
I mean, welcome to me.
That's where we draw the line.
Yeah, you've crossed the line here, Blake. You're still hot, but stop it. No, I think for me, though, it's also, like, Taylor has been such a, like, leading force in getting women to own their work, own their artistry, to move up, to get power, to
Right.
do these things that traditionally men have always had control of.
And do it
So,
the right way.
and so it's almost like I feel like Blake has bastardized that. And that really bothers me just in the like realm of like, and I am not a feminist by any means,
Right.
but like almost the way opposite. So it's not that, it's just like you have this friend who you know like stands for this, like pays for Kesha's stuff, like legal
Right.
stuff. You know, like what I mean, she just did all this stuff and you still threw it around. It's like you have no boundary.
Right.
And I'm like, first of all, like you have the friendship we all want. And you're going to mistreat it? Like, what is wrong with you?
Right.
Like,
You literally get to sit in football suites with her. And you're
yeah.
keeping that
So,
up.
just sending out a special message to Taylor that we're on Team Taylor, and if you need a replacement, it's a 2-for-1 deal. It's 2 of us for 1 Blake.
right.
I mean,
That's right.
we're here. We're
That's
here.
right.
But I will say, we're going to keep watching this trial. If it goes to trial, like,
I
we're
don't
going
think
to
they're going to play chicken. I think they're
I do
going to
too.
keep going back and forth until we get like maybe the day before. Then they're going to settle.
something is going to happen. Yeah, I don't see they're sitting on opposite sides of a courtroom. I just don't see that happening.
I don't think that Blake does a good job of listening to people in her realm of like, hey, this might not be the best move, because clearly in the world of public opinion, they've both lost. No one's going to come out winner here.
Yeah.
But I do think maybe once it gets to trial, somebody will at least be in her ear and be like, this is not a good look. You don't want to sit there and have everything that you've said and done come out. It's not going to be a good look for either of them, but I do feel like she still has more to lose if she goes to trial.
I think she has more to lose from a reputation standpoint. He has
Yes.
more to lose from a career standpoint.
I would agree with that.
Because I already would argue that he's not going to get a lot of jobs now. But also, P.S., he didn't get a lot of jobs before.
Right. It's not like he was super famous and doing
Yeah.
a lot.
Blake's going to be fine financially. I mean, even if somehow this drives some wedge between she and Ryan, I mean, she's going to come out fine.
Right.
Like,
She's good.
yeah. But, so we'll keep an eye on it. So for those of you in the messages, I'm not going to answer them individually. There's your update. But one trial that did start today, Diddy is in the courtroom.
Woo. First off, I'm shocked that they got jurors so fast. You mean to tell me you found a bunch of people that don't really know what's going on?
Did you see that they're predominantly male?
No.
I don't remember the numbers, but what I read was it was a predominantly male panel, which,
That's
I
interesting.
find that weird. I would have thought we needed to strike an equal balance.
Yeah. Now, I will say, I want to say Cassie is one of the first witnesses, and they expect her to be on the stand for an entire week. One witness.
Well, so what we have read, now again, we don't speculate on this show, but when it comes to court proceedings, we go with what we read, okay?
Yeah.
And we don't read, or we don't go off of what we read on Perez Hilton, okay?
No.
I mean, we read it.
Nor
but we
should you
don't-
guys.
No, but I mean, you can look at it. He just drives me nuts. I can't. Well,
Yeah.
Anyway, it sounds like the Cassie thing, which if you're not familiar, Diddy dated Cassie for I think quite a long
Quite
time.
a while.
They did have a altercation that came out on video with him hitting her or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but what I have been reading this weekend is the Cassie piece is apparently going to touch quite a few other celebrities, like Michael B. Jordan.
Interesting.
That basically they're either friendships or was it going to be more post the Diddy relationship with Cassie? He kind of came for them.
Yeah. I
So
will
I
also be interested to see with the prosecution once Cassie's on the stand. She is uber pregnant. If you guys have not seen a recent photo of her, that when you put a female who has been abused on a witness stand who is very much pregnant, so she's, just in a different state, mentally, physically.
Yeah.
You don't want to sit there and bash her because that's going to make you look real bad.
Well, and honestly, I mean, Cassie I don't know what they could pin on Cassie other than what I'm assuming the defense is going to do. And also, just for note for the audio, we do not have law degrees. It's gonna
Shocking,
seem
I
like
know.
we do based on our expertise, but we actually don't.
Yeah.
Um, I'm assuming if I'm the defense, what I'm going to do with Cassie is I'm going to try to discredit her, but I'm also going to basically, I think what the defense is going to have to do is who all was complacent in this.
Yes.
Who all knew and didn't say anything. And I feel like Cassie's going to be the first one on the list to say, what all did you know was happening? You never did anything to stop it. You never told anyone.
Yeah.
Were you a part of it? Basically, in my opinion, I don't think the defense is going to be able to say, hey, look, he's innocent.
Right.
What they're going to say is okay, maybe, but all these people, let's come up with some kind of plea deal if we can take down all these people and the tentacles of this, I feel like, are going to be so interesting.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the caricatures from the courtroom, Diddy's apparently grayed out.
Yeah. Boy's aging fast. Which,
man, not looking good.
If we were sitting there.
Yeah, listen, if he couldn't get his hair dyed and his face is looking plump, things aren't good.
No. I'm anxious to see how many updates we get out of court and how detailed they are because it's a federal trial. There will not be cameras in the courtroom. It cannot be televised. However, I know a lot of news stations, Court TV, they have reporters that are sitting in the courtroom, so they will be giving updates during breaks and things. So I'm interested just to see how detailed we get of what they can and can't share.
What we're going to need you to do as our legal resident expert here, we're going to need you to find out which reporters we need to start following.
Okay.
On the socials so we know who to be listening.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Because it is practically summer, and I'm assuming you've not completed your other homework of watching The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Did I not?
Okay. So it'd be good if you could just find some reporters for us. That'd be great.
On it.
Guys, we did have a big weekend. We had Mother's Day. We are not the only two mothers in the world who celebrated Mother's Day.
We are not.
Apparently, at a restaurant called, I think, Tulum.
I believe that's what the name was.
In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on Sunday, May 11th, in 2025, the year of our Lord, Miss Taylor Swift made an appearance again. She looked rested.
She
She looked at peace. She looked happy. She was with Travis, Donna Kelsey, Kylie Kelsey, all the Kelsey girls, Kylie Kelsey's mom, and Andrea Swift.
I mean,
I would have fallen out dead.
Right.
Died on the scene.
We should have asked to go to lunch there for Mother's Day. That's what our request should have been.
Yeah, really blew it. I thought Philadelphia and just didn't go with it. But, yeah, she looked fantastic. She looked very rested. She looked happy and looked very at home in that group of people.
She really did. They
really looked like they'd been together their whole lives.
Yep. Which I'm also glad, first off, Philadelphia people, thank you for taking a picture and probably being very inconspicuous. Like,
based on the picture of how we've seen it, we can tell y'all were just putting your phone up. It's real obvious that you were not, like the paparazzi, which we appreciate. And we appreciate that you waited until she was gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to see her. We got to see them together.
Which I'm really surprised because during the summer we know that they vacation. We know that Travis works a lot in the off season doing commercials and that kind of thing. But so we shouldn't expect to see sightings of her or both of them. So I'm glad that we got one so people can calm down. They're fine. Yeah. They're still together. They're just living their life.
I have a confession to make to not only our audience but to you.
Okay.
And somehow my confessions always revolve around this one person.
Oh, Lord.
So I've been talking in the DMs with Dumois.
Of course you have.
So, listen, okay, it's been a long time. Things have not been awesome in my own life. So I've needed some things and we're not getting anything. And so I guess about 2 weeks ago, I just said, you know what? So I sent Melissa Dumois a message in the chat on Instagram. I was like, hey, listen, do you know if Taylor and Travis are still together? Like, and how do you know? Do you know for sure? Like, is everything okay? I get that we needed a break. And she responded, yes, 1,000%. I affirmatively know they're together. Okay. All right, well. Then I actually asked her about two people that I couldn't care less about, but I noticed that I haven't seen them together lately, which is Kid Leroy and Tate McRae. So just so you guys know, Melissa also knows they're together still. I was just curious because I haven't seen them together.
I couldn't pick them out of a lineup. Take
Well,
because she looks like
listen,
one of those girls off Bravo.
listen, my little mammal hummingbird, I understand. But I will say that I appreciated Melissa's getting back to me about that. But I will say, she did say, of course, when the news broke yesterday, of course, she jumped on social media to, tell the news that we already knew.
Yeah.
And she said, she very exaggeratedly said, like, oh my gosh, I have something huge that I know, but I can't tell you guys, and don't DM me. I didn't DM her. Here's the thing. I know people are going nuts. We got 4 messages this morning like, oh my God, are they engaged? They could be. Here's what I'm going to tell you I think it is. I think they bought a house together.
That would be more believable.
Yeah. I'm thinking that maybe it was in Montana.
I can see that.
Maybe Salt Lake area, because apparently they spend a lot of time in Deer Valley too. Could be out in California, because that makes sense for him post-career. I don't know. But I do not think she's not pregnant. She looks totally normal in the pictures. And they could be engaged, but I don't know. I don't think they care as much as we do.
No.
So, but I just wanted to confess that and to let you guys know that Kid Leroy and Tate McRae are still together as well. I don't know.
Everyone was concerned, so I'm glad that you gave us that update.
But as far as when we will see Taylor again, Taylor Nation, bless them, they really have been teasing a lot about the American Music Awards, which I did not realize we did away with the AMAs for a minute. Did I know that?
I'm not I don't think we knew that. I
didn't know that either, but
there were some MTV awards that had gotten put away for a while and were coming back, but AMAs, I don't remember that one sticking out.
Well, I feel like too with the music awards, if it's not the Grammys, I feel like I get them all intertwined.
I kind of am getting the sense that like award shows are kind of going away as a thing of the past. Like they're just not quite as big of a deal, and they don't quite mean as much. You're right, unless it's something like the Grammys.
Yeah, it's like the Oscars and the Grammys, and the rest were like, I can't remember which is which. But I will say Taylor Nation is making a really big deal at the AMAs. She is nominated for 5, 6 things, and even her website, they changed some stuff around to spell out AMAs, and even in their posts, they were capitalizing AMAs. So I would say with some confidence, I feel like she's going to be there.
It would be fun to see her on a red carpet.
Will we get them together on the red carpet?
I don't think so. For some reason, I just think that that's just not their move.
Yeah.
Because there's been some big moments where they could have done good red carpets together, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, we don't have Rep TV yet. We are drawing closer to August 16th by the minute, so we'll see. Or August 6th, is it?
I'm not sure.
August. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, we got a few months.
Speaking of August, though, do you know what happens in August?
Is that when we finally get our first football? I cannot wait.
Listen, so we are 2 days, at the time of recording, we are 2 days from the full NFL schedules dropping.
Yes.
But what we did find out over the weekend is, which I put this wrong in notes, we found out some of the week 1 matchups.
Yep.
I am very concerned that we are sending our Chiefs down to Brazil in August, or maybe will that be September?
It's either end of August or 1st of September.
Nonetheless, folks, it's going to be hot.
Well, and we were concerned about that when the Eagles did it last year, and they didn't seem to have any issues heat-wise.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't
love it.
Makes me nervous. They're playing the Chargers. And week 1, the Cowboys are playing the Eagles.
Listen.
Ooh.
Tough matchup. Tough matchup. I haven't paid super close attention to the Eagles, but I don't think they lost very many people.
No, I mean,
like Brandon Graham retired.
Yeah, you've got a couple defensive guys, but I hate to say this about defensive players. They're like dime a dozen. I feel like
right. We just need another big boy in there.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting one. But we did get big news out of New Orleans, which I kind of think this is what I thought was going to happen, though it makes me even more confused based on their draft. Derek Carr has officially retired from the NFL.
I mean, did you see that coming?
I did, but I can't figure out.
Did you see it coming, or did you think that would have been his smarter move?
Okay, well, that's a valid question. I definitely thought it was the right move for him, but what I can't figure out is how I saw that coming and the Saints organization, based on their draft, did not.
Well, I think he was so like, no, I'm going to play. Either I'll have, I've got a bum shoulder, but I'm still going to keep getting opinions. And I think he was like stringing them along because last week, they had come out and said like, potentially he's going to put off surgery and he's still going to start for us this year.
Yeah, I saw that they were thinking he was going to rehab. So that leaves, they've got Tyler Shaw from Louisville that they drafted, which a lot of people are very high on. I'll be honest, I watched his pro day and I was not having the same opinion.
Yeah.
They've got
him, Hayner, and
Spencer
so
Rattler.
Between the three of them, none of them have won an NFL game yet. So
no, and I sure wouldn't go with any of the three. I have been hearing the whisperings that potentially the Giants would send Jameis Winston back to the Saints. I would actually love that.
Yeah.
I think he was great in New Orleans for the city, and I think Drew Brees, obviously great talent, way more talented than Jameis Winston, but he has the Drew Brees vibe in New Orleans.
Yes, he's got that
very much about the city. We got a crowded room in New York now, so
we really do.
I don't know. I don't hate that idea.
I don't either. I do anticipate that we will see some moves from the Saints to get a veteran in.
You're going to have to.
There's no way you can have the three of them. Can you imagine sitting in a meeting with three people that are all brand new that are like, what would you do? I don't know. What would you do?
I don't know. I've never won. What about you? I got nothing.
Yeah.
And also, all three from programs that they didn't have a lot of winning experience in college.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're talking about some kid that started at Alabama.
Plus, you've got a brand new coach this year. I just don't think.
Now, I know Kellen Moore, hey, now, if I'm those three guys, I'm pumped that I'm going to be playing with Kellen Moore because he can make something of me, but I'm not ready.
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm just saying, I love the idea of Jameis Winston going back. Now, hey, are they going to go to the Super Bowl with Jameis Winston?
No, but we're going to have a lot of fun watching them.
Yeah, and I still think they would win more games than they'll win with what they've got right now.
Agreed.
So that's interesting news with the NFL right now. Have you seen any other tidbits?
Not too much. Now, we did have the induction for the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame this past weekend. There were some notable names in there. Mr. Patrick Mahomes was inducted.
Did you think it was weird it's taken this long?
Well, I'm not really sure what the guidelines and stipulations are. I don't know if it's a yearly thing. I'm not sure. But it is.
Again, not done your full research.
I have not. But I would imagine they can't do it too terribly often because you're right. He would have been inducted a long time ago.
Yes. Day one.
But he was inducted this weekend. Robert Griffin III was inducted with him as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then big news for San Antonio, Coach Jeff Traylor, who is the football coach for UTSA. He was inducted this weekend for, I guess, his time when he was the Gilmore ISD football coach, which they were rivals with White House ISD, which is where Patrick played. So he coached against Patrick quite a bit. So.
Well, Arkansas fans are familiar with Jeff Traylor as well. He was there for a minute. Yeah, it sounds like, listen, I didn't know, when Patrick Mahomes came to the NFL, number one, I've owned this on here, I was not a Brittany Mahomes fan.
Right, neither of us were.
But I will say, and I also used to say that I think that Patrick is probably dumb as rocks. And listen, book smart wise, he possibly is, okay? But man, he makes some good business decisions.
They both do.
Yeah, and so one of the things that came out of his induction was now he's, 15 high schools are going to wear his, and of course White House being one of them. I don't know. I'm just very impressed at such a young age how much they do for their communities, not only here in Kansas City, but where they're from.
Yep.
Just their business moves. I'm just very impressed by two people I thought couldn't find their way out of a paper sack.
I tell you what, and I don't know if they just have really good business sense or if they have truly built a team around them that is giving them very solid advice.
Well, I was thinking about that the other day, but the thing that, we never hear about is who is their team. Because, you take Travis, for instance. Travis has made a lot of really great decisions. We know exactly, it's the brothers that he grew up with. the Enos brothers or whatever, you never hear about their team.
No, and I have heard Brittany say quite often that she handles a lot of business for Patrick. So
That's what I
do
heard.
wonder if like they kind of have people that help run the house, run the kids, and all of that, so that like her job can be where she's, you know, handling his emails, doing business meetings. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's just.
I would say it's shocking though. I mean, and I don't mean to be offensive. I am surprised.
I think it's more surprising because of how young they are to come into so much money so quickly. And Brittany makes quite a bit on her own as well.
She does, yeah.
And then turn around and immediately be making fantastic choices. Now, I'm sure they've invested in a few things that maybe we don't know about that didn't do so well. But they have done really well in their portfolio of investments. But I think that she has just... I think that when she first came on, it was like, I don't know what to do with all of this attention. And like, I'm just going to be myself. So if I think it, I say it. So whereas the rest of us are like, yeah, be authentically you. But I think that she has started to learn, like, there are repercussions for everything, and I don't have to say everything that I'm thinking. Like, I can hold that for just personal family time.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, she just really, I think, has come into her own and kind of maybe gained a little bit more confidence in herself and her decisions to where she doesn't need to snap back and make a response to everything that's said about her. But I've actually really enjoyed her a lot.
Yeah, I have. Listen, and nobody's more surprised than myself.
I was going to say, we never thought we'd say that.
All the things have been weird this year already. I also love, I noticed his Mother's Day post for her, and I think she even made one. They obviously, we see them out and about doing things as a couple, but they are, for as much as they have going on, are so involved with their kids, and I just love that.
I do too.
I do think it's very strange that we so quickly saw Bronze and Sterling, and we see them all the time, that we're not seeing any of this third baby.
Now, she withheld their faces for a little bit. I don't remember how long. So, but it was still, they were still little when we got a picture of their face. So I anticipate probably beginning of football season, we'll get a face reveal.
Well, especially if she does like she normally does on the field, it'd just be impossible not to. But I think I always find it odd when people cover their infants' faces, because like, it's not like if I'm out on the street, I'd be like, oh, that's so-and-so's baby.
Right.
I would do
they
that
all
more
look the same.
Yeah. So I don't know, it's just weird, but you do you, Brittany. You seem to know what you're doing. So, but yeah, very impressive. Not a lot of college football news. I actually don't think I've seen, honestly, anything.
I mean, the only thing that we're seeing is about UNC. So,
well, yeah.
I wonder. So I know there's like a June 1st with Bill Belichick's contract that, like, if they had to buy him out, it drops from $10 million buyout to a $1 million buyout, which I'm pretty sure their boosters could maybe afford. My question here is, do we think that UNC, because they keep having to put out statements on behalf of Bill and all these rumors that come out, are they over the drama and they're going to cut him loose? Or do they see it as, listen, people are talking about our program, they're going to watch?
Well, I really don't know, because I hold UNC to such a high standard. UNC is a hard school to get into academically. Basketball, obviously, one of the greatest programs of all time.
Right.
Football, we're new to the scene. Baseball is one of the best programs in college. Like, I just always have held it to a really, really high standard, and I really feel like what this hoopla between he and this 25-year-old, it's really bringing in a real Housewives vibe that doesn't feel right for UNC.
Yep.
It doesn't feel right for him either,
No.
which really makes me concerned about his mental health. But I don't know, because if I'm UNC, we don't need publicity. Like, we're UNC. Now, does our football program need some better players? Yes. And so then I see, like, if you're in college, geez, playing for Bill Belichick could probably really help your career, or tell you pretty quick you don't need a career. I just don't know. I'm wondering if we get a breakup. I'm wondering if somebody finally, or maybe he gets sick of the drama.
But then I worry, like, does he even know how much drama is going on? Because I don't know how much he pays attention to social media and stuff. So is he just believing anything that she says? of like, hey, they're saying this in the media, but then she can twist it to fit her narrative to keep herself safe.
I don't know. The whole thing is just
It's
weird
a
as
lot.
can be. I saw pictures this weekend at some pageant. She was giving her crown away, and her dad was sitting next to Belichick, and he looked like he could be Belichick's son.
Yeah. She competed so apparently in the Miss USA pageant, you can do 2 competitions for 2 different states to try and get into the Miss USA pageant. So apparently previously she was going to try out in the Miss Alaska pageant, but she dropped out of that one.
Is she from Alaska?
I don't know, but there's like certain stipulations that you can still try out for those states somehow.
This is why, note for the audio, that the Miss USA system is garbage, and that's why the Miss America system has always been better.
Yes. So she was trying out as Miss Maine to try and win that title so she could go on to Miss USA. Apparently last year she also tried out for Miss Maine and got 2nd place, so runner-up. Yeah. And this year she came in 3rd. So.
Oh, she was competing in what I saw.
Yeah, she was competing. She got 3rd place.
I thought she was giving away a crown.
No,
Okay.
she was competing.
Well, there's another reason she's not in the Miss America system, because...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And, Judd is obsessed with UNC. It's where, in fact, this weekend I was asking the boys, I was like, okay, we'll start with football. Name the 5 schools that you'd want to play for. Of course, UNC. And then I made him do 5, then 3, then 2, then 1.
Mm-hmm.
UNC. Basketball, UNC. I mean, he has been dead set on playing for UNC since he was 2 or 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're going to need him to get this drama settled, because I can't be dealing with all that. Now, as you pointed out, he'll be dead by the time Judd
Right.
is there.
I don't think we're going to have to deal with this.
I'm just concerned as a mother.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but outside of that, we've not seen much of anything, but I'm ready to. I did see, is his name Landry Kiffin? Lane Kiffin's son?
Yes.
Has transferred from the high school in Southern California to Oxford High School in Mississippi.
Yep.
And apparently he's like the second coming of Arch Manning, from what they say.
So that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, good pedigree. You would think so. We were just talking about UNC and other sports news. Something that I was very shocked to see this morning. Guess who is joining the NBA Live as a commentator for next season?
I feel like I saw this and I can't remember.
Well, it'd be hard to not remember. Michael Jordan?
Oh, no, I did not see that.
Yeah, and I am stunned.
I'm shocked by this.
Absolutely stunned. I don't know why, how, what it's going to look like. Cannot even fathom it. Because if you don't, Michael Jordan is very elusive. He is never anywhere. Even when he owned the Hornets, he was rarely there. Gonna be on TV, color commentating.
I wonder how good he'll be at it. Just because I think
imagine good at all.
There are some of these athletes that come back to try and be analysts, and all they want to do is talk about their own career. And we're like, my guy, it's past that. We want to know what's going on right now, what's current.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested for sure to kind of see how
it'll be interesting to see if he's going to be in a duo, kind of commentating live throughout the game, or if he's going to be on a panel. It's just interesting because if you follow much of the old school NBA news, he and Charles Barkley used to be super tight, and then they had a big friendship falling out.
Yep.
And Charles Barkley really, to me, on the panel wise, is one of the best there is.
He really is. He brings
so it would be
great
interesting
dynamic.
to see them in a sort of almost competing again role. I don't know. I don't know details. I just saw it this morning, and I was like, wait, what? We know he's not doing it for money.
Right. I think he's good.
Yeah, pretty sure this weekend when we took the boys shopping that I helped support him.
Right.
Because it was everything Jordan and everything Kobe. And I'm like, I can't argue with you, but geez. Judd asked me if we could start. So Judd's nickname since he was a baby, I always called him Little Squish.
Uh-huh.
And this weekend he got mad about it. He was like, quit calling me that. And I was like, oh, are we here?
Oh, no.
And you don't tell me what to do, second of all. But then later on he was like, could we change my nickname to Black Mamba? No.
No, sir.
Not in a million years. No. Yeah. But apparently that's where my parenting is.
Listen, maybe Little Squish, I feel like that could be an apparel brand. Company brand.
Well, I'm not saying we've got to put it on our merchandise. Don't tell me what to call my baby.
Right. I'm just saying,
And
like,
he tried to play it off, and he was like, well, why do you call me that? And I was like, well, when you were a baby, you were really squishy and, a little squish, and it's just always stuck. And he was like, yeah, I don't like it. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't ask you, so do I care? Little squish.
Oh, shoot. That's
Anyway, so that's sporting news for us. Would you like to answer some questions where we do have some sports questions?
I would love to.
We've got some good ones. I always try to pick some from different categories. I'm always surprised that you ask us anything in general, but especially, and I don't know if this is sexist, I don't mean it this way, but I'm always surprised when men ask us sports questions.
Same. I appreciate that you're asking.
I do.
But
Like,
do you actually
please
care about
keep it
our
up.
answer, or are you just throwing it out there?
And listen, I just want to say props to you to be a man that's like, hey, what do they think? You know?
I do
like,
love that, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Kevin, we'll start with you. All right, so this is from Kevin, who I did actually see is from North Carolina, because I do stalk all of you when you ask us a question to make sure you're not some crazy lunatic. And you seem normal. But Kevin asked, which NFL rookie quarterback just drafted will A, again, multi-part questions, A, start some significant times this year, B, will have the best season, C, have the most longevity. So let's start with A. So we're talking NFL rookie quarterbacks. Number one, A, start some significant time. So basically, who do we think may be a long-term starter this season?
I mean, I think the one that has the best opportunity is going to be Tyler Shaw, however you say his last name. Just because with Derek Carr retiring, and we don't know as of this moment, like, are the Saints going to be making any kind of trades or get any free agents? I think he has the potential for the most starts. I don't think there's any other quarterbacks that got drafted that aren't playing in a organization that doesn't already have some kind of vet that we're like, one of these vets is going to be the starter.
Yeah.
Who would you put?
I think logistically, I would have to agree. Now, if you would have asked me pre-Derek Carr retiring, I would not have said him.
Who would you have said?
I'm a little torn, honestly, between Shador and Jackson Dart. So obviously Jackson is with the Giants. I understand they have Russell Wilson. I'm not saying that they would suddenly be like, hey, Jackson, you're going to start over Russ, but Russ is older. I'm just worried about injuries kind of thing.
Fair.
I do, in my opinion, if Russ was to go down and they keep the same current quarterback room, I do think they would put Jackson in. I've been impressed in what I've seen in his rookie camp. And everything that is coming out from like his draft interviews and stuff, the kid is brilliant.
So good.
Football mind. So I'm very interested to see what his career looks like. And then with Shador, what I'm seeing coming out of rookie camp does not look bad. I mean, I know they have Joe Flacco, which...
And Kenny Pickett.
See, I would go Shador over Kenny.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I do think...
And that's weird, because I'm not a Shador fan.
Right. I'm interested to see, I'm sure preseason games, they're not putting one of their vets in, I don't think. I think that they'll give Shador some time. I think he'll get more than Dylan Gabriel for sure.
I think Dylan Gabriel, I don't know how this works on the rookie situation. Can they cut a rookie?
Yes.
I could see him getting cut or traded.
I could see that, or get moved to their practice squad if they can't trade him somewhere.
I see him getting bumped down for sure. I don't know, but it's a great question. And then who will have the best season? I mean, I'm assuming you mean personally and not their team.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to depend on who gets playing time.
It's hard to know.
If I'm thinking, okay, let's say all these guys end up in a starting role at some point this season, okay?
Okay.
How are they going to do? Who's going to do the best?
I would say Jackson Dart has the better chance of doing the best.
I mean, I think you do have to consider the weapons they have. If I'm Tyler Shaw, you honestly don't have any weapons. They're still talking about trading Chris Olave. And at that point, I really don't know who you are throwing the ball to.
Right. Might as well just do it.
Shador, who do we have as a receiver in Cleveland now? They may go pick up Amari Cooper. They've had him before. I don't know. I don't know who he's throwing it to. Now, when you think about Jackson, he's got Malik Neighbors. Not a bad option. So yeah, I'm high on Jackson right now, but I was high on him last season at Ole Miss, and that didn't help me. So I don't know.
That's fair. Yep.
And then the last part of your question, who will have the most longevity? Do you have
I
an
think
answer?
I'm going to go Jackson Dart. I just think he seems to have the mind of a quarterback and like the team mentality and the leadership and the skill to take him a little bit farther and longer into an NFL career.
I'm hopeful that it's Jackson.
Yeah.
But my actual answer is I don't think any of them will.
Really?
I could see, even with Jackson, I could see them becoming like journeymen, backups
Yeah.
on a lot of different teams. I do not see any of them being a, 5, 6, 7 year starter in the NFL.
I mean, I guess I think with Jackson being at the Giants, they held on to what's his face, Daniel?
Daniel Jones, yeah, they did.
For so long. So it's
Yeah.
like good or bad decision. They're hanging their hat
It's
on
true.
it.
You asked longevity, not necessarily like decorated
Good
career.
longevity.
I do hope the best for Jackson. I'm a fan right now. He's not done anything to lose my support yet. So.
Right. Yep.
But it'll be interesting to see. I do think this was a weaker class. I've been seeing some of those, too early to tell 2026 draft predictions. There's actually quite a few quarterbacks I've never even heard of that are getting ranked kind of high, so it'll just be interesting to see.
I think we're going to have a really good football season this year.
It could be the worst, and I'd still be happy that it was here.
I'm not going to complain. I mean, I
Yeah.
will, but I'm going to love it.
I mean, that's why we have a show, but, it's fine. All right, this one is right up our resident legal expert's alley.
Yes.
From Liz. Lots of good trials on right now and coming up. What should we be following, and is Karen Reed guilty? Can you give us a synopsis on the Karen Reed trial?
Listen, today is day 14 of the trial. I know that I doubt you've been watching it. Would that be accurate?
That would be accurate.
Okay. It's been so good. First off, I want to know how much she is paying her attorneys because they are so good.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, listen, if I'm a witness, I'm going to go missing before I've got to be cross-examined because I don't.
Oh, dear.
Please don't put Alan Jackson on me. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Wait, the attorney's name is Alan Jackson?
It is.
Are they way down yonder on the Chattahoochee? Like, what?
Might as well be. I'm
Okay.
telling you, that man. Now, she did find him from, he was recommended from the Harvard School of Law. They recommended him.
Oh, okay. Well, good place to start.
I'm going to tell you, not a single person, witness, has come out being reliable after he's done with them.
Wowza.
He has poked holes in from your testimony in the first trial to your testimony with the grand jury to what you said on the actual day that this happened on videotape. Your story keeps changing. Which one's true? And I'm going to tell you right now, we'll get into it later at another one of my things. That police department will be, the FBI has already said they're watching them. They're watching this
Ooh.
trial. They're watching this.
All right,
Lead
catch us
investigator
up
has
real
already
quick.
been fired. It's incredible.
Catch us up on the Cliff Notes. What is Karen Reed being tried for?
So, Karen Reed is college professor in Canton, Massachusetts. She was out drinking with her boyfriend one night. A bunch of their friends, who all of their friends were also police officers and their spouses, they all got drunk. She supposedly drops him off at one of these police officers' houses to go continue drinking through the night and hang out. She says that she left him there, went home. He was found the next morning on their lawn, deceased. So they are saying that
He was a police officer.
he was a police officer, yes.
Okay.
They're saying that she hit him with her car. She is saying it's a cover up, something happened in the house, and the police are covering for each other and just pinning it on her. It's been so good. Now, she was drunk. She was driving. They were all drunk. They were all driving. Could she have hit him with her car? Possibly. We don't know. However, none of the evidence really indicates that. But I'm going to tell you, beyond a reasonable doubt, these prosecutors aren't proving that. Because so many holes have been poked in, even if you said maybe she did it, there's so much other reasonable doubt to be like, I don't know, this does look like a cover-up from all of this. So I think she's not guilty. I think you 100% need to say not guilty on this.
First or second trial?
This is the second trial. The first trial was a mistrial because of a hung jury.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, not affidavit, autopsy, what was the cause of death?
Undetermined.
Oh, well, of course.
Because his
I mean,
injuries are not indicative of being hit by a car. They're also indicative of being in a fight. They're indicative of being attacked by a dog.
A dog?
The home that he was found in, they did have a dog that was known to not be a social dog, did not like other individuals. And just so happens that these homeowners, who are also police officers, got rid of their dog after this happened. So
Did he have bite wounds?
he did, all down his arm.
Okay. Well, folks, this one sounds interesting. I can't
It's
wait
real
for the
good.
documentary.
It's real
Can't
good.
wait. Okay, so that's your Karen Reed part. Do you have any other trials that we should be, besides Diddy?
Right. Diddy will be one that we're watching currently as well. I think the Brian Koberger one is supposed to go to trial this summer. If I'm
Yeah,
not
that one is the Iowa killer of the
Yes.
college students. That one is very perplexing. I feel like every time I see something, I'm even more perplexed.
I know. There's so much that's come out that I'm like, I'm not even up to speed on what's current anymore, so I'm just going to wait till trial starts, because that one
Yeah.
will also be televised, from my understanding.
Ooh, yay.
Because I have a lot of questions for the roommates that survived.
Same. And like, I saw over the weekend, I believe, he like sat in the room of one of them for a while after.
I heard
allegedly.
that. Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing now?
Just creepy
Yeah.
behaviors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
All right. Well, any other ones we need to look for?
I think those are the only ones on my radar right now. Those are the
Okay.
big ones coming up.
This is not a trial to watch, but I did see and sent you that Buster Murdaugh got married.
He sure did.
I mean, if I'm married into a family, I guess at least the worst one's in jail is really all I can come up with.
I don't know. He doesn't seem like he's a shining star either.
No, I'm pretty sure he killed that one kid he went to high school with, but and you didn't marry him for money because I don't think there's much left.
Sure, I wouldn't be changing my name to Murdaugh. I don't think
No.
I would do it.
No, for sure no.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, from Rick. There's some new music. There's some new music out right now. I'd like you to rank each song 1 to 5, 5 being highest. So 5 ratings in total, not in comparison to each other in their own right. Rick, I appreciate your thoroughness, sir.
Okay, so I don't know if I ranked this correctly because it confused me. Are we supposed to rank like only one of these can be 5, only one can be 4, only one can be 3, or like each one can be 1 through 5?
I took it to mean each could be 1 through 5.
Okay.
And what I would like to tell you, Rick, is I find 1 through 5 ratings very difficult. Because, 5 means it's, on repeat. 1 means I hate it. But, 3 is, meh. But 4 seems very close to 5. I find this problematic.
Okay.
Now, how did you rank it? Because we can do whatever we want. This is
Well,
our show.
I ranked it as out of these 5 songs, which one's your number 5? Which one's your number 4?
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
That's good.
And I don't necessarily know that my rankings would change.
Well, I feel better about that than I did my individual 1 through 5s.
Okay. So let's do 5 and work our way down. So we'll each go 5. Okay. So for my 5, I went Hard Fought Hallelujah with Jelly Roll and Brandon Lake, because that one's on repeat a lot more than the others are.
Oh, wait, 5 was our highest. You went with the best first. Okay.
Oh, well, my bad, folks.
Yeah. God, nothing to
We're
be.
real good at this.
Okay, yeah, that same. That was, and see, in my head, I'm like, that's my number 1, but apparently here it's my number 5. I don't know, it's a lot. Okay. Yeah, that's my favorite
out of the list.
listed here. Okay, what's your next favorite?
My next favorite, I'm probably going to go Old Phone Ed Sheeran, just because I've
Same.
listened to that one a lot more here recently.
Same, and I just freaking love Ed
I
Sheeran.
do too. He's so good.
Yeah. All right,
3
my
is
next-
probably where we'll differ. I went Anxiety by Doechii. Again, that one plays a lot more in our house.
So that one plays a lot in the car for us. I am somebody that has anxiety, and I feel like listening to it makes me think about it more.
It could.
Yeah. It makes me think about it more, so I did not put that there. I do, however, think you're going to be surprised by my answer.
Oh. What'd you put?
I went More to Lose by Miley Cyrus.
Okay. Well, there
I'm
you go.
kind of liking the new music I'm hearing from Miley.
Okay.
So
Listen, could be good.
I know what you think I was going to pick, though.
I do.
Okay. Go ahead.
My two, I'm going to go Relationships by Haim for my second one because I've heard it. Out of the last two that we have, I've heard this at least once.
You've not heard More to Lose?
I have not heard any of Miley's new stuff.
Okay.
So I'm
liking the new stuff.
Okay.
I do not like that she's going to be doing the cinematic thing with the album. I feel like that's too much Miley.
What do you mean cinematic? I haven't heard of this.
So, unless I made this up in my head, or I fell for another scam online.
Listen, I haven't followed anything Miley lately, so.
Okay, well, I do fall for scams a lot. So, what I heard was that in June she was releasing like a movie of the album.
Okay. That's interesting.
And yeah, I don't love that though.
No.
I don't like to watch Miley perform, but
no.
Yeah, so that's too much for me. But
okay.
Yeah, it's actually pretty decent.
Okay.
Okay, is this my next to last or my last? This is my next to last.
Next to last.
So everyone knows I love Haim. I did put Relationships here. It's not my favorite of their new songs that are out. Their new album comes out next month, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's just not my favorite.
Okay.
And then in last place, I did have Anxiety, Doechii. It's not that it's a bad song, and I actually like Doechii. I just, again, I don't need to focus on something that I suffer from.
That's fair. Okay.
We don't know if we did that right, Rick, but there's some
Sorry.
And listen, that Hard Fought Hallelujah is
so good.
Freaking banger. I love that song.
Yeah. I don't know that I would have ever thought to put Jelly Roll and Brandon Lake on a song together. Like, it just would not have been something that crossed my mind. They're so good together. Like, they complement each other very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brandon Lake is popping up a lot of places right now, and I always get a little worried when we get this crossover of these Christian artists and they start popping up everywhere. This scandal is going to come out. So.
I know. I need you to not get too big for your britches and just stay
normal. Just stay a good guy, dude.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. All right. I think this is Sherilyn.
I think so.
Okay, from Sherilyn. Players to watch in the WNBA this summer. I want to be a fan. You should be a fan. You should always watch women's sports.
Yes.
The WNBA has a lot of fantastic athletes.
They really do. Honestly, there's almost somebody on every single team that you're like, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we're big Caitlin Clark fans. Watch her. Asia Wilson, one of our favorites.
Yes.
Listen, you got to watch her. Paige Buchner, it'll be interesting to see her this year. How much playtime she gets. Katie Martin?
Kate Martin, yeah.
Kate Martin.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because, Kate was kind of in a second, third string kind of role with the Aces, and then she got traded to the new expansion team where I think she'll be a starter.
Yeah.
She's always kind of been a behind-the-scenes person because she was sort of a behind-the-scenes Caitlin in college at Iowa, so it will be interesting to see what Kate does.
Yep. So those are kind of the ones I had. Who else did you have?
So definitely Asia Wilson. Kelsey Plum got traded from the Aces to the Sparks, which I don't love because I'm a big Aces fan and I don't like the Sparks. But I love Kelsey Plum so much. Nafisia Collier that plays for the Lynx. I'm terrible with some of their names, but she's really good. And the Lynx are really good. Aaliyah Boston is somebody that played for South Carolina. A lot of the rookies, I'm interested to see how their game translates. Then Skylar Diggins. It used to be Skylar Diggins Smith. I'm not really sure what happened, but we dropped the Smith, and apparently it was like I don't want to talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah, she plays for the Dallas Wings. She's real good. So those are some, and then I cannot pronounce at all the girl that plays for the Wings, and I apologize, but I think it's Erica Ogunbowale.
That sounds better than what I could have done. So
real good. Then I have to say, I mean, it's always interesting to see what happens with Angel Reese and what she does in the games.
Listen, if you just want a funny player to watch,
there's
shots that she makes, and I'm like, that looks like I'm out there playing, because that's what it would look like if I tried to shoot a basket.
Yeah, it's a thing. And then I would just say the New York Liberty in general, I'm a big Aces fan, so obviously we don't love the Liberty, but they've got a lot of really, what I think will go down as Hall of Fame players, like Breonna Stewart. I don't like Stewie that much. She kind of annoys me to no end, but she's a phenomenal basketball player. And then Sabrina Ionescu. I don't know. She's kind of the Steph Curry of the WNBA, so if you like that kind of style.
Yeah, she's a good one to watch.
Yeah. So, there's tons of players, though. Becca's right. Like, any team you can think of people they're so fun to watch. And I think people just miss it. Like, they don't think to go watch a WNBA game. They don't get as much time on TV, that kind of stuff. But they're really good athletes.
They really are.
Because a lot of them you have to think about, too. A lot of these women playing in the WNBA have had children.
Yeah.
Like, some missed last season because they're pregnant, and now they're playing at the highest level of their sport. Like, that is mind-blowing.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry if a man stubs his toe. Anyway, but yeah, you should definitely be a fan. Okay. Are you ready for some Y Factor?
I would love to do some Y Factor.
All right. What are you not liking this week?
So what I'm not liking this week, we briefly touched on it, would be Canton PD.
Ruh-roh, we're going for the police now.
Because I have been watching the Karen Reed trial, and one of their main investigators has been on the witness stand for 2 or 3 days now. Mm-hmm. Listen, every time one of their investigators gets on the stand, it's so bad. They don't want to answer the question that's asked. They answer around the question that's asked. They say, "Oh, I don't recall. I don't remember what I said." And so then, like, we're constantly having to give you proof. So if I'm a juror sitting there and the detectives on the case don't recall, don't know, obviously don't want to answer and are getting an attitude, that says something to me. Because if defense is saying, hey, they're covering something up, and then this is how you act on the stand, yeah, I do believe you're covering something up. So I don't like them. I think we need to get the FBI in there and clean them out.
Now, just note for the audio, this was Becca's. If the police are coming for anyone, I had nothing to do with this.
What are you not loving this week?
I have 2 things.
Okay.
Number 1 is a toothpaste.
Okay.
So, are you familiar, I'm sure you are, with the charcoal toothpaste?
Yes.
Feels like every brand has their own version. Well, our boys, for some reason, are very into the Crest charcoal. They really like their teeth to be very white.
Okay.
And I love white teeth. I, too.
Right.
I use normal toothpaste, and then at night, I always use purple toothpaste to help with that.
Okay.
Because I love white teeth.
This is a very detailed toothpaste thing your family does that I was unaware of.
Well, and the fact that I'm talking about a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old that have prompted this charcoal issue at my house. But here's what I'm going to tell you, that 7 and 9-year-olds are not great about, like, I don't know, cleaning the sink when they're done brushing their teeth.
Oof, yes.
It always bothers me when I have the white stuff everywhere anyway. Now it's black, okay?
Oh, that's tough.
So, and it's hard, and when you don't, and then you come on a Saturday to clean it, it's been sitting there all week.
Yep.
I understand that it's making your teeth whiter, but it is not making my sink whiter, okay? I've got some problems with that. I don't know if that's about my children or if it's about the toothpaste.
Could be a mixture. Okay.
Yeah. Now, this second one has to do with my children, too. And if you're coming at me as the parenting police,
Don't.
Hear. Trust me, I'm not the one. But here's what I don't like. We took the kids shopping this weekend, right? And, you know, I think you and I've kind of talked a little bit about this, that I probably gave our kids a little too much leeway with rap music, and it's kind of hard to pull it back now. It's just kind of a thing, and our children apparently
I think that's a burden we both bear in our parenting.
Well, and apparently our children are stupid, and so they really have a lot of, like, people they look up to that are not great people. John Morant, for instance, in the NBA. So it's just a thing. But here's what I don't like. Take them shopping this weekend. Of course, we buy everything that's Jordan, Kobe Bryant. I'm okay with that. But there's all these brands that are taking teddy bears and then, like, making things that are not cool. Like a teddy bear holding, like, stacks of money or guns, or it's like they're thugging out a bear.
Yeah, I don't love that.
So it's like you're, as a brand and a designer, you're trying to entice these children for not great things.
Yeah.
And then you're making me be the bad guy to say, no, you can't have the teddy bear t-shirt.
Right.
Because it's got all this other stuff. But you're literally, like, targeting children with bad things.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I
And it's
love
not
that.
just one brand that I could call out, or I would. It's like, seriously, there were like 6 different ones.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Or like putting words like savage. You're 7, sir. You're not a savage.
No.
You're scared of the dark. I just don't like that. Like, let's not target children with things that are not wholesome. Not that I need them wearing like a I can do all things through Christ t-shirt.
Right.
But
Just normal.
like, we can be cool and not have to be thugged out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't love it.
No, I agree with you on that. Okay, that's fair.
Okay, so what are you liking though?
So what I'm liking this week is I saw a new movie on Netflix called Nonas.
Oh, what?
I'm not sure
How do you
pronounce it.
spell
It's the
it?
Italian word for grandmother. Nonnas.
Oh, no.
Okay, there you go.
Where I'm from, there's like a little Italian village. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, it's got Vince Vaughn in it. It was
Oh.
so cute. I didn't realize until the end that it was based on a true story. But it's just about like he inherits a bunch of money. He ends up opening up a restaurant and he hires a bunch of Italian grandmothers to cook in the restaurant.
That's smart.
Was so cute. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So it's definitely worth a watch. It was a quick watch. Not too bad,
Okay.
but it was really good.
I
But
like that.
Mr. Vince Vaughn has aged quite a bit. He was looking old.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I haven't really heard much about him lately.
Yeah. So
Good point.
do you
Well,
like?
actually, I have you to thank for my thing that I'm liking this week.
okay.
You sent me a thing this week that Abby Wambach and Glennon Dole
Yes.
were on Call Her Daddy.
Yep.
And I listened to it when I was on my drive this past week, and I actually really loved it. So I have really waffled in my feelings towards Glennon Dole since like the beginning of her existence in my life.
Yes.
Like I liked her first book, and then of course if you follow much of her career, that book was like about like repairing a marriage kind of thing, but then it kind of turns out at the same time they were ending the marriage. It's kind of a weird situation. Anyway, so I've just kind of gone back and forth with how I feel about her. I'm not in my era of really appreciating the self-help people. I'm just not.
True. That's not our vibe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stay alive right now. So I don't really need that. Now, if you know me and you listen to the show, you know I love women's soccer. Abby Wambach is by far one of, I honestly would probably say, in my opinion, one of at least the top 2, 3 greatest women's soccer players of all time.
Easily.
She was just incredible.
Yep.
And I have always loved her as a person. She made some bad decisions. Who doesn't? And honestly, in the grand scheme of things, she got a DUI. Like, okay. Not to belittle the situation, but anyway, it did turn out she was an alcoholic, but she got all that figured out. But I love Abby, and I've always really enjoyed her because she's not she's not a Glennon who's going to sit here and like, all about your feelings and let's all hug. That's not Abby. Abby's very like, this is what happened.
Right.
This is how
She's
it
very
got
matter of
together.
fact.
And I love that.
Yeah.
They are together, so if you don't love that, you do you. Don't come for me. I'm definitely not the one. So, they are married and they have a really beautiful family.
Yes.
It's intertwined with Glennon's ex-husband, their kids. Their daughter Tish is everywhere musically now.
Yeah.
She's like the next Brandy Carlisle. Crazy. Anyway, they were on Call Her Daddy, and I have to say, Alex Cooper is another one that I have waffled on as well, but she did a really phenomenal job of interviewing them. Sometimes I find in Alex's interviews, she can dote on people too much.
Yes.
Especially, she can just be a little, fangirly, and I just am not, that's not what I want to listen to. I'm not saying that I wouldn't do the same if, we were sitting here with Taylor right now. I would try not to, but
Yeah.
sometimes she teeters on that. I thought this was one of her better interviews. First of all, it was 2 people. That can be hard, I would assume,
Yes.
too. And 2 very different people, 2 different
Completely
stories.
different fields. Yep.
Yeah, just a whole different world. I did not realize Alex Cooper used to play professional soccer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Never knew.
Okay.
Thought that was really interesting to learn. But she did a fantastic job interviewing 2 different people, but being able to tie it cohesively together.
Yeah.
And Glennon was finally not too touchy-feely.
Mm-hmm. That can be a
but
lot.
also, a lot of times in interviews, she comes across very detached. almost like I'm like, is she on a lot of Xanax?
Right.
And she maybe, but in this interview, she seemed very present. It was
Yes.
really, really good. And of
Good.
course, I love anytime I can see Abby, but it was like not the typical. A lot of times when you see people interview Abby, they want to talk about her time, obviously playing soccer, or the women's
Right.
national team, all of that. Or like how she and Glennon met, or like that. It was really not that.
Yeah.
And so it was really, really a good one. I have to
good.
say, Call Her Daddy lately, Alex is really stepping up her game.
She is. I've always thought, even though she can annoy me sometimes, she's a great interviewer.
She really is when she's not. This is what I've figured it out, or so far. If she's interviewing a man, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to like it.
Yep.
She gets
Oh,
very
that's true.
fangirly with girls. I mean, with men.
Yeah.
And with girls, she's very like I'm an interviewer.
That's true.
So, and again, she's another one I'm totally impressed with her business
She's done real well for herself.
savviness, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I appreciate you sending that my way because I probably would have missed it.
There you go. All right.
All right. Well, that is episode 69.
Okay, folks.
We'll see you in 70.
There you go.
All right. Y'all have a great week. Thanks for listening.
Bye, y'all.